What's up everyone, PureChaosX here with a bit of a random video which I kind of didn't want to make, but it's kind of one of those I want to get it out of my system kind of things, and just to get it off my chest and that sort of thing. A couple of weeks ago I kind of just had these sudden random bouts of like misery and depression and that kind of thing. I don't know why. Well, 10% of it I know why, and the 90% it just hit me like a ton of bricks. But there is one small reason why it might have been happening as well, but that's not something I'm going to go into. But yeah, there's just things going on in my life that just suck and are horrible and I wish weren't happening. And it's basically just making my life sort of like a bit of a misery for me. And it's not helping things. It didn't help as well with the whole monetization thing on YouTube, or the demonetization thing, I should say, which kind of happened on the same day I started to feel misery and depression, but it wasn't the cause. It happened after that, but it just happened to happen on the same day, so that didn't help. And of course, YouTube rejected it because. Well, actually, that'll be an update video for that anyway. So I'm still trying to carry on with the YouTube channel, just to try and make it look like I am not using reused content. And the other thing is just basically to take my mind off of things more than anything. So, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It just hit me on that one Monday a few weeks ago, and I've just been feeling like really shit and miserable ever since. I have sudden spurts of joy and happiness, like when I'm talking to friends and whatnot, but other than that, when I'm not, it's just straight up slumped, just like, misery. It's like the best word I can use to describe it. I don't know. And yeah, like I say, for the most part, I don't know why. There is a small reason why I think why I'm feeling like this, but for the most part it's such a small-ish thing that I don't know what's caused the rest of it. It just kind of hit me. And everyone who knows me kind of knows that I like to be left alone. I like to be on my own. I don't like people like hovering over my shoulder and that kind of thing. I do like to be left alone, but there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. And I think for the past few weeks, and indeed months, I've been feeling a lot of the latter. Yes, I do like to be left alone. I don't like it when people keep talking to me, asking me questions, and asking me to do this, do that. It's very frustrating. But it's, being alone plus, or, like being alone versus being lonely is a big difference. And yeah, for a while, it's always been, it's the latter. You feel lonely rather than just being alone. I don't know if I'm really describing that very well. But as much as I like to be alone, that doesn't necessarily mean I want to be lonely. And it's like I said, there are two different meanings. So I think that's one of the things that kind of hit me in the head, is the sudden realization of the whole loneliness. And it's like you feel as though everyone around you has something in their life that you would like, but no matter how hard you try, you will never be able to achieve it. It could be anything. It could be their own car, their own place, getting into a relationship, a good job. I can't have any of those for so many different reasons. I can't get a job, mainly because I don't drive. There's no buses, and being autistic and what's the word I'm looking for? Extremely, almost cripplingly socially anxious, that I can't even step outside my house half the time without severe anxiety hitting me, like people are watching me just stepping outside the house. That's how bad this anxiety of mine is and can get. I just can't step outside of the house. It's not like agoraphobia or anything, but it's just stepping outside the house, being watched, being looked at. Just like walking somewhere on my own is an almost impossibility, because I feel as though people are looking, people are going to come up to me, start talking to me. I want to avoid people. I mean, look at this. Look at this t-shirt. I was social distancing before it was cool. I was. I would avoid people so that they didn't talk to me. That's how bad I would get. And so in a job, talking to people is usually a big thing. Some communication with people, and I can't do that. That's my social anxiety is so crippling that talking to someone for just a second, it causes severe anxiety. So in a job, that's kind of bad. I can't drive because my eyesight's shite. Even with glasses, I can't see a number plate at 20 meters. I probably could if I was incredibly relaxed and it was a bright, sunny day and the number plate was nice and clear. I could probably read it. And probably not even through a windshield, though. That's the problem. I was able to read it just outside the car. But I think inside the car, looking for the windscreen, or maybe like a gloomy day, I'd struggle to read it. Even so, I've been to so many opticians, opticians, doctors, and hospitals, having tests done on my eyes, having them poked and prodded, after they were numb, obviously. And they all say basically, you should be able to see a number plate even with that prescription of glasses. And I'm just like, no, I can't. I can't see a number plate at 20 meters. It's just a blur still. And possibly the only thing that would help is laser eye surgery. But those are expensive. Even for like just each eye, it's like £500 sometimes. I can't do that. And even then, I was told by certain people, even then, laser eye surgery may not get me 20/20 vision, just because of how bad my eyes are already starting off at. So, yeah, I did take driving lessons like 20 odd years ago, but that's when this all kick-started off, when I couldn't read a number plate, and then that's when all hospital appointments, doctors, and these opticians appointments all kind of kicked in. As much as I would like to take driving lessons now, I don't know if I could trust myself on the road. I'm so easily distracted. Although I was never diagnosed with ADHD at the same time as my autism, I think I do have it, at least in some capacity. I'm so easily distractible or whatever it is I'm doing that if I'm driving a car, I'm worried that I would also get distracted and wouldn't, oh shit, brake, crash, and things like that. It would probably be made a bit easier by the fact that I would probably opt for an automatic. As gears were definitely a bit of a hindrance for me when I tried it. I just couldn't do gears. Trying to do multiple things at once with the gears, I can't multitask very well, especially in situations like that. It's very, very tricky. So, yeah, automatic. It would mean that I would never, not that I would be able to anyway, ever drive or own my dream car. Which for a lot of people, probably my age, that would probably be an Escort RS Cosworth. That's always been my dream car. But in some cases, my dream car that would be achievable is a Mark IV 90s spec Ford Escort RS Turbo Cabriolet. That would be my dream car to own. Which obviously I wouldn't be able to do that if I had an automatic, but I would rather drive than just not have my dream car. So, yeah. So yeah, I'll never be able to drive. I'll never be able to get a job. I'm in the process of trying to get signed off work, as I don't think nobody thinks that I would be able to do well in a job. I just wouldn't. I used to have a job working at a computer repair shop. I was there for about 7 years, and every day was just so hard because obviously it was customers. The customers would come in, and hundreds of customers a week, and trying to talk to them was an impossibility. It's one of the reasons why I left. I couldn't go back there because I just couldn't talk to so many people, all these different faces every day. It was just not possible. And so I had to cycle home, and that was the best part of the day. It was like the best part of the day. It didn't matter if it was in like the scorching heat, the force 10 gale, a snowstorm, torrential rain. I enjoyed my trip home from work because it means I didn't have to talk to anyone for another few hours. So that's how bad it was. It also didn't help with the people I was working with were a bit hard to get on with, I suppose. Actually, the boss was okay, but yeah, the other guys was. So yeah, I'll probably never be able to get a job. unless I can get a job working for myself at home, and I will never have to talk to another individual. And I'll never get to drive unless I do take laser eye surgery, and it just so happens I can get 20/20 vision, but that'll probably never happen either. I sometimes feel as though 41, I'll be 42 on the 24th of June. That's too old to maybe start driving. I don't know, most people would obviously start when they were 20 or something, and they'd get that experience as they grow and whatnot. But to get that experience when you're older, I don't know, it just kind of feels... And I'd never be able to afford a car anyway. That's another problem. So a part of me is glad that I don't drive, because I would never be able to afford to buy the car or keep it running, pay for petrol, the MOT, insurance, get it fixed, which is kind of annoying. But you know, it's even more annoying that when everyone that I know can drive, or you know, they are driving, they have a car, or they can drive because they've got proper eyesight and whatnot, and everyone's younger than me except for my parents, which that even more sucks hard. And I'm the only person out of my immediate family and friends, and possibly even family everywhere else, I'm the only one with any passion for cars. So believe me when it sucks, or believe me when I say it sucks, like, the only person with a passion for cars is the one who will never get to experience them. That blows big time. And it's the same reason why I'll probably never be able to get a place of my own either. Again, can't get a job, I wouldn't be able to afford a car, can't afford a house. I got no chance. I did move out once, and then with my then girlfriend, to a place where she rented, but since we were both on benefits, we were struggling. So I moved out, and she was eventually found a place by the council. They took their fucking sweet time, at 2 years, I think it was, but they eventually found a place for her. So now she has a place of her own, and my friend has a place of his own. He's driving and has a good job. But she can drive because she has proper eyesight, even though she wears glasses. And she has a place of her own as well. And so, you know, it's like multiple things that I would like. So, and I would never be able to get into a relationship either. I've had 2, well, technically 3. One of them didn't last very long. Technically speaking, that particular one is a part of a reason, like a small percentage of why I'm feeling depressed, oddly enough. But yeah, I would never be able to get into a relationship either, for the many different reasons. Yeah, again, it's always nice to have your own place or your own car or a well-paid job. A lot of people don't really see you as a viable relationship option if you don't have something like that. So it's very difficult. Even especially when obviously things like that aren't your fault. You know, you have no control. I have no control over my eyes. I have no control over my autism. I have no control over any of that kind of stuff. So, but you know, guys get absolutely fucked over when it comes to things like that. You know, trying to find a relationship. So yeah, it's also made even harder by the fact that obviously, like I said, I don't leave the house. I find it very difficult just to leave the house rather than, you know, it's not like I've got anywhere to go. But, and you can't talk to people. That's usually a good way to meet other people, is to talk to them. But, you know, I can't. It's an incredibly difficult, nigh on impossible task to do for me to just walk up to someone. I find it easier to talk to another person if they start the interaction first, even though I do prefer they don't. But I do find it easier for them to start the interaction first before I do. Then I might be able to hold a conversation with someone if I feel like I can, you know, get used to them quite quickly. Which I can. I can get used to people quite quickly depending on how they are towards me. So, you know, if they're calm, soft talking, and they come across as quite nice, I'll get used to them quite quick. But if they come across as loud and brash and, you know, a bit of a twat, I will feel uncomfortable around them probably for the rest of my life. You know, and basically fuck off, don't talk to me again. So I can get used to nice people relatively quickly, but it's still difficult for me to sort of initiate any kind of conversation with another person, and so that makes it difficult to meet friends as well as find a woman, or, you know, get into a relationship, because it's very unlikely that they'll probably want to start talking to you, just because, you know. So yeah, it's a bit annoying, and so everyone has one of these 3, or wait, car, house, job. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so everyone I know has at least 1 or 2 of the things that I wish I could acquire. but I have no chance of doing it. Yes, I've had a job, but trying to acquire another one that will suit someone like myself is going to be near impossible. And like I said, I don't drive, which is a lot of what a lot of companies want nowadays, is someone with at least a driver's license. I'll never be able to get one of them. I have to rely on the bus, which no longer exists in our area. The bus in our area has now been cancelled, and there's no buses where I live. And the only way to actually get to a bus to go into town is to walk 20 minutes up of a fucking steep ass hill and then catch a bus there. How in God's name, the elderly or people with prams or pushchairs will make it up there, I have no clue. But Stagecoach, you're fucked up. I'm sorry. You fucked up. Yeah, they cancelled it because it wasn't profitable enough. And yet the one up the road at Camp Hill, if you live in Northampton, gets 4 an hour. We only had 2, but ours wasn't very profitable apparently. And yet when I've caught the bus a few times, almost everyone I see, like myself, has a bus pass. So they're still not paying for the bus ride anyway. I have a bus pass because I'm a bit doolally. So yeah, that's fortunate. But it just makes travelling even more difficult because I can't travel to new places either. You asked me to travel to a place I've never been to before. Oh, basically, there you did. Fuck off. I can't do it. I need to have a travel companion with me in order for me to go somewhere new, and they would have to come with me multiple times until I'm ready to, until I'm comfortable knowing where I'm going. When we first moved to Northampton, my mother had to come with me to town for about a year until I was able to remember where in God's name our bus stop was. But yeah, I have no clue. I cannot do it. But yeah, that's one of the things I did on my PIP for disability allowance, was that one of my problems was that I couldn't travel. So if I had to travel for a job in a new location, never be able to do it. But they said they rejected my PIP the first time because I can read a map, so therefore I can travel. Yeah, I can read a map because I can read English. I can't read a map and understand it. Just because I can read the words on a map doesn't mean I can understand the map. Yes, I can read the map's words, all the street names and everything. I can't fucking understand it though, idiots. But yeah, no, they said that I wasn't good for PIP because I could read a map, so I can travel. Which is stupid. I'm sorry. This whole point system with things like disability allowance and whatnot, it's all dependent on points, is absolutely ludicrous. So you can miss out on help that you need desperately just because you're off by 1 point. Absolutely ludicrous. It's pathetic. I tried twice and failed twice to get my disability allowance until we got community law, I think it was, I can't remember who they are, involved. And so they basically got them, so I got some disability allowance, but not a huge amount. Not as much as I probably should and or could be getting, what with the rest of it. But actually, I can't even remember what they actually did it in the end on. Is it because I couldn't travel? I think they completely ignored the fact that I'm autistic and that I can't communicate with people and things like that. I think they completely ignored that. So, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It just hit me. That one Monday, just I felt so miserable and depressed. And I just think, what's the point? Why bother? Why am I even here for? Why was I placed on this earth? I just feel like I'm nothing more than life's punching bag right now. I'm only used when I'm needed, but then when I'm not needed, it's like, do I even exist to people? It's like a punching bag. I'm used to make other people feel better, but not myself. It's kind of, it's like, why am I here? Like, what's the fucking point? But yeah, it's frustrating and annoying. To be honest, just having a place of my own would be amazing. That would probably cure a lot of my anxiety and stress and whatnot. It's just to have a place of my own where I can make my own decisions and my own choices and peace and quiet, which is nothing in this house. If I have to, if I'm being honest. Except for a few hours a week when I'm currently on, I get to be on my own for a couple of hours, like I am now. But yeah, place of my own would be a cure for almost all that ails me. But I think the only way I would ever be able to get that is if it be the same way as my friend who has housing benefits and has, they pay for her rent, and then she pays for her own bills and whatnot. That would be the only possible way I would actually be able to have a place of my own. But considering how long it took her just to find a spot, or I should say they found a spot for her, how long it took, I would be so far away from that, it was untrue. And in a depressing move, I feel like I am going to be in the same spot for the rest of my life. So, yeah. I don't think, at the moment, there is no cure for what ails me. It's, I'm stuck with whatever it is that I'm doing for however long I'm going to live for, I suppose. I mean, I'm 41. Like I say, I'll be 42 on the 24th of the June. That's like half my life, I feel, has just basically just gone. Where I've done almost nothing. A lot of the time, it's because I'm not allowed to. Yeah, oh god, it's 42 years old. Oh, he's not allowed to do what he wants. Yeah, I mean, from a very young age, my autism showed. And so everyone knew that I was just, like, really weird compared to everyone else. I was a bit odd. I was the strange one. I never talked to anyone. I never communicated with anyone. I never interacted, which is all pretty much the same thing. So everyone, like friends and family, all knew that I was a little bit of a cuckoo, and very much different to everyone else. And so my parents, especially my father, treated me different to everyone else. They tried to put me in bubble wrap, so to speak, and try and make sure I didn't do anything that I wouldn't be able to do. Or I never felt really old enough to do, because although I'm 42, in some ways I have the mindset of a 20-year-old, which I do. I'm not gonna argue with that. I do have a immature mindset at times. So, in essence, I was treated not how old I was, but how old my mind was, I suppose you could say. So, yeah. And so from I was always like not allowed to do things. My brother was allowed to do things because he was normal. And so my parents, especially my father, never really prevented him from doing anything that he wanted to do. Yeah, I was. So I have pretty much no experience with anything. I was never allowed to try anything new, go anywhere new, even if it was just around the corner. Not that I would want to go anywhere new, because I didn't like stepping out of the house. But so I was never allowed to do anything new. I was never able to see if I was able to succeed at things. I was never even allowed to fail at things. So I never had anything to learn from. I was basically just told, no, you fail. No, you can't do it. So I didn't know, could I succeed at what I was going to do? Was I going to fail at what I was going to do? Would I learn from it? I don't know. I was never given the opportunity to do anything like that. So, and I can understand why, from my parents' point of view, I was immature for my age. And I never came across as, acting my age, so to speak. But again, I couldn't help that. Autism back then, like in the 80s when I was born, it wasn't a thing. It wasn't really a thing. And even in the 90s, and I suppose in some cases the 2000s, it wasn't really a thing. I wasn't diagnosed with autism until 2018. So I went through my entire life as an oddball, with nobody knowing why. And, I had no help because nobody realised what was wrong with me. And any doctor that we went to basically just said I had chronic shyness and I'll grow out of it. I've had at least 3 doctors who said that. And I never grew out of it. If anything, it's just gotten worse over the years. And my autism, or the effects of the autism, has increased exponentially as the years have gone on, and I've just felt worse and worse. I felt less likely that I can talk to people. I felt less likely that I can travel to new places and interact with people, gain new friends and relationship, that kind of thing. It's all just getting harder and harder, not easier and easier. And really people who aren't autistic won't really understand where I'm coming from. But everyone's autism is different. Everyone will be different. So even some autistics won't know what I'm talking about. Well, some do. So they won't all be the same. But yeah, it's so hot. Yeah, that's been my life basically. It's just like, and that probably hasn't helped anything as I have grown. Well, I say grown. Physically, I've grown. Mentally, not so much. I do try, but it frustrates me. I get very stressed and frustrated when I try to be normal, and it doesn't work. And I basically get snappy at people, and yeah, it's kind of. There was something else on my mind I was going to say as well. I don't know what it was. Yeah. Well, basically, think of it this way. What the hell's that? Most people would learn to ride a bike when they're 10. And they would get that experience as they grow up, keep that experience, maybe increase that experience to bigger, faster, better bikes, and maybe use that to advantage and use it to cycle somewhere, like to work or a marathon, that kind of thing. You learn to ride a bike when you were 10 and you get that experience as you grow. I'm learning to ride a bike at 40, in which case most of this experience now is going to be useless to me, and I got nowhere to use it. And what's it for? That's the best analogy I can come up with. Jesus Christ, it's gone 1 o'clock. I'm thirsty. I've been talking for nearly 30 minutes. This is the most amount of talking I think I've ever done. Even in my reused content doesn't have commentary. Even in my commentary videos, this is more than okay. And yes, you may have noticed that I am walking around a lot. I can't sit still. It's just another reason why I think I might have ADHD of some sort. When I'm talking on the phone or recording with a camera like this, I have to move. I can't just stay in one place. So I do apologize if anyone gets motion sickness. Also apologize if there's been a loud in the background. That's my fan. My biggest fan. I was going to do a biggest fan joke there, but I can't really bother. It's been done. But yeah, I have no idea. Again, no idea why I'm making this video. It's kind of like I just want to get it out there. I just want to get it off my chest. It's the kind of thing you can't really speak to anyone about, though. Like, you kind of want to mention it, but you feel kind of stupid and petty. It's like, and people just think, well, you made your life this way. Well, yeah, I mean, I could try and make it better, but like I said, I will never be able to drive because my eyes are shit. I'll never be able to get my own place because I don't have a job. I'm going to get a job because I'm mentally unstable, so to speak. And I'll never be able to get into a relationship because I'm too scared to leave the goddamn house and talk to people. I don't have a car and I don't have a house and I don't have a job. So, damned if you do and damned if you do. And then YouTube demonetizes my channel. So it's kind of... But yeah, although I have heard that they're actually lowering their requirements from 4,000 hours to 3,000, which is good because I was struggling to hit the 4,000 again. Which I must have obviously hit it once in order to get monetization for the first time, but I'm struggling to actually get to 4,000 now. I'm at like 3.3 thousand. So 3,000 is good. That's good. Otherwise, I would have been refused monetization. I think I should have been allowed it, even without the 4,000, because I was monetized, and they just saw fit to demonetize my channel. Even though I think it's still bullshit. But this will probably be in a demonetization video update too. But yeah. So this was pointless. This is a pointless video, but I thought I just want to get it out there. I just want to say something. But yeah, for the last few weeks, I don't know. I've just been so fed up and miserable, and depression will just slap me in the face all in one go. And then I get demonetized, which didn't help. And other things that happened on that day that I found out were kind of a bit of a shit, and yeah, I'm not going to say much. I will say it was one of the things that in the past, it was something that my father was dead set against, even though I defied him for about a week, but then I stopped because he was being petty, and wouldn't talk to me or my mother or brother for a week until I undid what I did. So, but now my brother, who's younger than me, like I said, has done exactly the same thing that I've done 7 years ago. Yeah, I think it was about 7 years ago, and he said nothing. He seems to be okay with it, but it wasn't okay with me when I did it 7 years ago. I'll leave you to ponder. If people, I suppose, if this gets a bit of a good reception, I might make a second video. I don't know, but yeah, it was something that I wasn't allowed to do 7 odd years ago, and my father didn't like. But now my brother's doing the exact same thing that I did, of the exact same situation. But my father's been like, yeah, okay, have fun, be careful, yeah, that kind of thing. So it's just another case of I can't do something that my brother can. Although it wasn't because of my mentality, it was something completely different, even though the same logic doesn't apply now. It did back then, but not now. But yeah, and that's basically been my life up till now. I can't do it, but other people can just because they're mentally sound. It's another reason why I want a place of my own. I can make my own choices and my own decisions. I can make my own successes and failures and learn from both, which is something I was never able to do. So, yeah, it's disappointing to say the least. But, yeah, you think I'd be used to it by now, but I'm really not. I'm just not. Ooh. So yeah, probably about it, to be honest. It's a bit of a stupid video, but it was just something I wanted to get off my chest, kind of thing. You know, get off my shoulder. No, wait, is it off my shoulder, or is it just get off my chest? But yeah. So really, the only thing that takes my mind off things is obviously the gaming video, doing YouTube, which, even though YouTube's taking away most of my incentive, I'm still going to do it, obviously. So that takes my mind off things. And I'm sure a lot of people who watch my channel know my other hobby of, obviously, RC cars. That's another thing that sort of takes my mind off things. But very expensive hobby. But I do like buying things for it. But not having a job and being on benefits means that I kind of have to wait before I can actually, buy parts. And one that you don't usually see is my Traxxas Rustler just behind me. So I've been meaning to get an X-Max. I'd love an X-Max. Ooh. But yeah, I was close to buying one. But I made what could possibly be either a good choice or a bad choice, and that was I bought the new graphics card and power supply for my PC, which is just there. Yeah. You have to excuse the poor picture quality. I'm using the front camera. I have a phone with a shitty front camera. This is all I've got, so I can actually see what I'm doing. I've been meaning to get hold of like a traditional camcorder with a flip-out screen, but those are quite expensive still, and relatively hard to find now. Been wanting to get a Logitech Brio webcam for my like unboxing videos and whatnot, which have actually gone down in price by quite a bit. So I also hope that my hand hasn't been covering up my microphone. I also hope that people haven't been feeling seasick or motion sickness from all this movement. So yeah. That's another reason why I think I might be very bad at driving, is I have an eye twitch or an eye tick, which you sometimes might see me do. Sometimes I'll try and hide it. But yeah, I've got an eye tick, which I've had for decades, and it's just kind of, sometimes it means I'm not looking forward. It means I'm just like looking away. You'll see me doing it there. But yeah, it's kind of odd. I've had that for a very long time. So, yeah. So anyway, she's 34 minutes. I'm gonna leave it there for now. I'm actually getting breathless from talking and walking at the same time, but I have to walk. I can't stay still. I have to keep moving. Unless I'm sitting down and not talking to someone. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna end it there. Again, pointless, but I just kind of wanted to say it, get it into a YouTube video maybe. Kind of just keep it as a vlog. I'll let people watch it, see what they think. If you agree, give it a thumbs up. If you think I'm being stupid and I'm being petty, you can give it a thumbs down. I don't mind. Just more views the merrier. Anyone who's in a similar situation to me, say in the comments if you want, or email me if you want to be private. My email address is on my channel description, kind of thing. Be interested to know if other people are in a similar situation to me, like they're in their 40s, maybe they are autistic, they still live at home and they can't have things that their friends have. Oh, they're two different cars. Okay. You can't actually see it because I can't actually turn my camera around. But yeah, there are two. I don't know if I can actually see them. Where are they? Yeah, there's two red cars I thought were the same, but one's a Jaguar and one's a Mazda. Oh, there they are, look. Oh, my head's in the way. Yeah. I need to get a new phone. This one's falling apart. I've never come across a phone, or I've never had a phone that I can actually rotate, flip cameras while I'm recording. Can you not do that? I don't know. But yeah, I should leave it there for now. I'm actually quite hungry. It's 10:15. Quarter past 1. I'm hungry and I'm getting a bit dizzy now from all this talking. But yeah, just something I wanted to get out there. Just for no reason, really. I'm just gonna go and overdose on some monster. But yeah, I'm just gonna really want to sit down. Actually, I'm gonna sit down. And I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can actually just sort of got this fan's blowing on me as well. Yeah. So it is so hot. I mean, I'm walking around in my boxers in order to just try and get some air. I don't want to take my shirt off because I don't want to make people faint. So, and I'll probably get even more demonetized if that's even possible. So, yeah. So, oops! Dropped the phone. But it stopped the recording. So yeah, I think the heat as well isn't actually helping my mood. I hate the heat. I hate it. I hate it with the burning passion. Pardon the pun. I just hate it. I love the cold. When the winter comes around, I'm like, ooh, I love it. I always make everyone feel cold because I can walk around, although I don't walk around in shorts. I do walk around in a t-shirt and I do walk around barefoot. And most of our house is like wooden floor or tile. And when people see me walking on it, they go, and I'm like, oh, no, feel a thing. So and I do walk around barefoot, as everyone pretty much probably knows. And I do like to walk around. No, I like to do like snow barefoot walks in the rain and whatnot. I don't have a foot fetish. I just want to point that out. I just don't like socks. I don't know why. I just don't like things like that around my feet. That's why I do like to wear flip-flops. I like things under my feet, but I don't like things like around it. Obviously I wear shoes, but I do wear flip-flops outside in the sun. So, but yeah. So that's neither here nor there. That's for foot fetish. That's for a completely different website. So yeah. So, but other than that, yeah, there's not really much to say. Yeah, Michelin. Yeah. There's my other cars, if you're interested. Look at that. So yeah, this is a bit of a, like I said, a bit of a random video, just something I wanted to say and get off my chest, sort of thing. Even though telling strangers on the internet isn't really what you would normally do, but you know, in some cases, it's not the kind of thing you just want to tell friends and family. At least not like directly. It's kind of weird. And in some ways, that what I mentioned about how my father wouldn't let me do this one thing, but is letting my brother do this thing, which is one of the reasons why I'm feeling like I am. What is that? I don't know if that's just me being petty or genuine. I just don't want to say it though. A, because this video has gone on long enough, and B, I'll put it into a second video if this one gets enough interaction, maybe? I'll do like an update video to my mood, my emotion, my depression, miserable, that kind of thing. I'll do an update, maybe. I don't know. So, yeah. It is what it is, I suppose. I mean, at the moment, I can't do anything about what's going on in my life, which is kind of sucky. I have no real control over it. It's, you know, I've tried getting jobs in the past, but no one wants me. I've had two interviews when I left my job, or since I left my job in 2010. But the first one was for a secretary job at a vet's. I don't think men make good secretaries because we're not exactly as a secretary, you're like the first thing that they see when they walk in the building. So you kind of want to be something that catches the eye. That's probably not the best way to describe that. I know what I'm trying to say, but I can't think of it. And usually, though, something like this is not the first thing you'd want to see when you walk into a building. I don't know if they actually hired a male or female, but yeah, no, I didn't get the job. And the second one, I actually was a computer-related one, and it was like a single guy. He worked in his house, and I think he sold things on eBay, like computer parts. But he also built computers as per requests from eBay. But apparently I didn't get the job because he felt I was overqualified. And he'd give me a job, or he'd consider me if there was a job that required something a bit more of my level. But yeah, apparently I was overqualified for that one. But since then, I've applied for jobs and no one ever gets back to me. Oh, you don't have a driver's license? Oh, well. That's what they want. A lot of jobs nowadays want someone with at least a driver's license. You don't have to have a car, you just have to have a license. But, yeah. And I know there are jobs out there that can accommodate people with autism and whatnot. But my autism and the effects of it makes it very difficult. So, yeah. It is what it is, I suppose. I can't do naught about it, at least not really. I would love laser eye surgery just to get rid of the glasses. Even if I can't see a number plate, getting rid of the glasses is a good thing. They're a bitch to clean. I hate it. I hate them. And people can't see my blue eyes. Yeah. And one of them even has a black dot on it. And I don't mean my pupil. Right. So, yeah. Okay. Stupid phone. Yeah, I should have ended this like 10, 20, 30 minutes ago. What was that? No. So yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. Anyway, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna end it there for now because I am actually quite hungry. It's one. You can't even see that. I don't know why I'm even trying. It's like 20 past 1. I'm hungry. So yeah. Yeah, I'll show you that. There you go, because I'm sure there are some people out there that might want to see that. Especially those that have watched my barefoot in the snow video. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. I like walking barefoot in the snow, so I like walking barefoot. So it's not odd that people like to watch it as well. To each their own. We all have our own little kink. It's a weird one, is that feet is like one of the most common ones, but it's also still considered quite taboo. Even though it is a very common fetish, it's kind of weird. But it's just nothing. It's not that much different to a hand. But you know, it's still a very popular fetish among people. It's kind of weird. I mean, I can kind of understand the appeal, but then at the same time, it's like, do you have a hand fetish? But why just a foot fetish? It's kind of strange. I took a weird turn. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm definitely going to go now because I am thirsty and I do actually need to get something to eat. So, yeah. Anyway, well, I mean, thank you for watching and listening, I suppose. Most people might have clicked off 5 minutes into the video, and if you've made it this far, I congratulate you. I don't have anything to give you, like a virtual cookie. Okay, look, I'll give people 20p. Actually, no, I won't. I don't have enough 20p's. I don't know. And I need to go downstairs and fix the sink as well. I need to super glue this back onto the sink. So I may as well take that downstairs with me. I shall stop my video that I'm watching. And yeah, I'm going to stop the video now. I'm going to go downstairs and fix the sink. So thank you for watching. Like I said, if there's anyone out there in a similar situation to me, and you've managed to sort of like just say fuck life, not fuck life, but I mean fuck what's going on and just live your life, I should say. Fuck your life, that kind of sounds completely different. Yeah, yeah. Comment or email me if you want to keep it private. Let me know. I mean, I might feel a bit better if I know that there are other people in a similar situation, but they can get over it and they've just managed to sort of live their life and just say, oh, whatever, and you know, just still have fun and happiness. That would be good. because I just don't feel. I feel a complete lack of anything like that right now. I'm not sleeping that well. I don't feel like eating that often. I'll have like one meal a day usually. I very rarely have lunch. I go to bed early or late. I go to bed late because I just don't want the next day to arrive so quick. Kind of like the opposite of Christmas. Like, you go to bed early so that Christmas Day comes quicker, but I go to bed later because I just don't want the next day to arrive so quick and just relive this misery and depression all over again. It's just kind of rinse and repeat. But hey, I'd be like to know if there's anyone out there in a similar situation, and they're just living where they always do, and they don't care, and they just manage to stay somewhat happy and whatnot. If you're just in a similar situation to me, it'd be interesting. Or am I like the only one? Am I the factor in this? Like, I'm the only 42-year-old who still lives at home, autism, and just doesn't have a car, can't get a place of their own, too afraid to talk to girls. I'm afraid to talk to girls. More so than men. Men, I just feel uncomfortable around. Women just make me go, and then you do that, you faint, sort of kind of thing. But yeah, I do find it harder to talk to women in general. I think that's always. Actually, no, that hasn't always how it's been. I think when I was a child, I always had no problem talking to women. You just got, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna actually pop this there, because this is where my phone's. Oh, that's not a good thing. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna stop the video now because you're probably all getting bored. So, but hey, look, this is the face behind the voice. If anyone's interested. Jesus Christ, I have no idea where this double chin came from. I swear to God, this wasn't there last year. And my teeth aren't as bad as they look on this video. I just want to say that as well. They're not as bad as they look. Although one of them, this one here, is a fake tooth. That's not a real tooth. That was just rebuilt from a tooth that broke 10 odd years ago. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Thank you for watching if you did. Sorry if this bored you, but like I said, I just wanted to get this off my chest. I kind of feel a bit better, but not a whole lot. I still feel quite miserable. And I'm happy. So, despite the smile on my face. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give it a like. If you think I'm just being stupid and you didn't like this, you got kind of a bit bored, just give it a thumbs down or thumbs up. I don't mind. Give a comment. Tell me that, whatever you want to say. Don't mind. If there's even really anything to respond to in this video, I was just blabbering on about. This has been 11 minutes on this one. 30 minutes. God, I've been really going on for 45 minutes. Fucking hell. I do apologise. I'm going to go now. Thank you for watching. See you in whatever video I upload next. Like I said, if this gets enough views, interaction, or maybe even people asking, I will probably make an update video. Maybe. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you in whatever video I upload next.